And we're back.
Five,
Oh,
four.
you son of a bitch. Welcome to a show about shows. Episode number 24. This time, it's personal. Yeah, I changed your name on it. What was your weird name?
It was 24. What a great show that was. Just to match up to 24.
You're a liar. That's not what your name was. Anywho, guys, we got a great show for you tonight. We're talking Michael Bay for the first time ever. We're going to talk the top 5 Michael Bay films, which means for the first and last time ever, Transformers 2 through 5 may be mentioned. Never again will they be in the top 5.
All I can say is we ran out of ideas for the week.
This is your idea, man. We have so many actors and directors we could have thought of, but you're like, let's do Michael Bay. He's only made like 12 films.
Well, he's produced
13, maybe.
He's produced like a lot, but he's only directed 13, which half of them, if not more, are the Transformers.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time on those damn robots. Yeah. Of course, this is Jordan Pierce Owens.
I'm Dutch McAllister. Also, the man who isn't here yet is the Aviator. We're back in the Bartanian Studios down here in good old Poughkeepsie. So we're down here. Yeah, we're down in Poughkeepsie. No one needs
drugging me.
So you, like Mr. T, you drink the milk. This is what happens. Okay, but
he'll be here any minute now, guys. So don't worry. Dizzle is in this studio for Sizzle. We got some appearances. We got Real Pro Wrestling September the 28th in Fort Myers. It's going to be a great event. We got titles on the line. We got the return of the Madhouse Massacre. I know Dizzle's already said he's going to be there. Dutch, you going to be in attendance?
Might be busy.
All right. Well, Dizzle will be there. I will be there. And I'll also be on Club WWN Live October 19th for ACW in Port Richey. So
I may be there for that.
Oh, you coming to that?
What day is it again?
October 19th, Saturday.
I don't think I could make that one, I think.
All right. Well, then you can catch Dutch and me over at ACW. And, yeah, guys, check that out. But we got a big show for you. A couple of cool reviews to start off the show. Dutch, first of all, let's do this. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for... No one ever asks me that. They always assume that I'm doing well, but, I could have, a gun to my head and they'd be thinking, that Dutch is playing again.
Took a dark turn.
But no, I'm doing well. I am very, I'm getting back into the fitness regime.
Oh, yeah? What are you doing? The gym?
I'm hitting the gym. I'm hitting the gym, and I am also just eating better. So I've already done the cleanse. There was a cleanse for from Sunday to today. And dear God, I got cleansed. Let me tell you that I was cleansed.
I don't want to know about your butthole.
Well, I wasn't really speaking about it, but yeah, I started probably earlier than that.
Hey, Dutch, you know what the polite thing would have been to say, how are you doing, Jordan? But you didn't ask, did you?
Well, I was just put on a surprise that somebody was asking me how I was doing. Okay, hold on. Hey, Jordan, I just thought of something.
What was that?
How are you doing, sir?
You don't give a shit.
You're right. So anyway, let's move on. So I don't have any appearances. I do not have any sponsorships.
You might be there at ECW.
Well, I could be at ECW, but I'll just be lured by that annoying, long-haired, brown-haired lady that's always there,
story.
Just making such a racket. So I'm going to have to sit by her just to keep her in line, I think, that night.
Oh, man, I'll pay you to do that.
So, but no, but I got to say, we didn't watch the last show we had a rundown of like 100 movies. This week we've kind of slowed it down a little bit because we finally caught up, and I'm excited just to talk about all of them. Actually, they're all decent films for once. I mean, I don't think we have a rotten egg amongst us. But again,
we'll get to Michael Bay in a little bit.
Well, those would be a lot of rotten eggs on that one completely, as you know. But do you want to start us off, or do you just want to go ahead and...
I'll kick it off for the reviews tonight here. We got Hustlers, Hustler Baby.
I'm a hustler, baby.
We both have that joke going. All right.
I love that song.
Hustlers follows a crew of savvy former strip club employees who band together to turn the tables on their Wall Street clients. The film was inspired by the article published by the NY magazine entitled The Hustlers at Scores. It was written by Jessica Pressler, and this one stars Constance Wu, Jennifer Lopez, Julia Stiles, Keke Palmer, Lily Reinhart, Lizzo, Mercedes Ruehl, Cardi B, Madeline Brewer, Trace Lizette, Met Towley, Frank Whaley, and Usher Raymond.
Yeah, I forgot about Usher. so that's all right. But
Usher, baby.
yeah, you know, he was in there spinning some dollar bills, y'all. But yeah, so what was your first impression of this film? Before we even started watching the movie, what were you thinking before we went in?
This one definitely, I would say, surpassed my expectations. The trailers were fun. I enjoyed the cast here, but I went in with I think luckily and for the right thing in the end with middling expectations. I wasn't expecting to be blown away, but I hopefully wasn't expecting to be kitchened, as some say. Kitchen, remember that movie?
Yeah, I was the only one who actually supported that film. You and the Aviator gave it like 2.5. You have 2.5
and
stars.
That's being nice.
And I gave it like a 3.
And you're drunk on.
Like I said, I was drunk in the
Dutch
kitchen.
McCarthy over here.
I was drinking that special drink in the kitchen. You know, the drink stew from it. But yeah, I was the same way when we walked in. I was like, oh God, okay, we're gonna have a J-Lo film. I'm not sure how this is gonna go. She doesn't make a lot of sense. But you know, it's just.
Oh, you were against the power of J-Lo, huh?
I was against the power of J-Lo for a moment. You know, I thought to myself, you know, what really made me nervous was Cardi B being in the film. But
even before I saw it, though, I'd already heard that Cardi B and Lizzo are both pretty limited in their roles here.
Yeah,
and Cardi B, I was slightly nervous as well, but luckily she's in a few scenes, and even then it's for a small chunk of time.
Well,
and she does perfectly fine actually for that role. It was fine actually. I can't say anything bad, and I would say something bad if I could.
And you know the Cardi B thing, it basically she just showed off what she used to do in the clubs for reals. I mean, she used to be a stripper. That's how she made all her money before she came out. And does whatever she does, because I've asked people what she does, and everyone says not much. So she does things, but you know maybe acting might be good, but you know she's like the next Rosie Perez for voice wise, in my mind.
I think you're shitting on Rosie Perez too hard here.
No, I'm not.
I wanted subtitles with one of the scenes with Cardi B in there. I really did.
Okay, well let's get on to the review though, because
I'm reviewing it.
Well, I'm just saying though. What did your main points were? What were I mean?
Oh, so as far as the good, yeah, this is actually really good. You mentioned Jennifer Lopez. She is entrancing from her moment starting in this movie here. Your eyes are locked on her, and it's a really good performance. There are some Oscar talk here, maybe supporting actress for J-Lo. I think if anything does get nominated, it might be that. She's fantastic in this. Constance Wu, who you may know from Crazy Rich Asians and the TV show Fresh Off the Boat. And after seeing this, I kind of do maybe think she was right in being pissed off Fresh Off the Boat being continued, because you know she does really good in this as well. Yeah, I really liked it, man. It was an interesting story. It kept you pretty entranced from the beginning to the end, and wondering where exactly it was going with these ladies, the struggles they went through, some of the decisions, bad and good, and yeah, I really dug it.
Well, to me, I really dug it as well. I thought to myself, I really couldn't. At first, I went in blind because I didn't know what it was really about. I just thought, okay, a bunch of strippers, and they take advantage of their clients. And it turned out to be a very well told story. I was happy that we had, just Julia Stiles. I haven't seen her in a while, and her tiny little part that she had, it was magic. You believe that she was the reporter because she played the reporter. Who wrote it, Jessica Presser, I guess, something along those lines. But I found that the performances by Constance Wu was unbelievably good. The same with J-Lo. I thought the chemistry between those two characters was just unbelievably, just epic, for that film. As you say, Cardi B, couldn't understand her. All I knew is I saw her teaching gyrations to Constance Wu, and she went from there. But again, I have no faults in this film. I thought there was no real plot shots, or where you'd have a hole somewhere. There's no hole. It just went well, and I think everyone should go take a look at it when they get a chance. Biggest opener for J-Lo, and congratulations to her. Congratulations.
Is this a show about shows?
This is a show about shows.
Are we live?
We're live.
Where have you guys been lately?
We've been in a bunker.
We've been filming at the Pierce Production Studios.
The Pierce Production bunker.
Where we don't have to put up makeup or pants on.
Yeah, so, you should have seen that show.
This will put yourself on camera here, making your first appearance this episode.
There he is.
Live. Look at that. The Dizzle Man's back here.
I'm here.
Everyone kept
Close
asking.
to the Medea chair, but I didn't quite make it.
Everyone kept asking, where is the Aviator, and we were like,
Yes.
I'm
he's
here.
flying around the world.
Mostly it was the Aviator asking.
And we're
I
flying
loved
around the
you
world.
guys. I missed you guys.
Well,
You guys
thank
are beautiful.
But-
It's a lot of shows.
Yeah,
You're going to learn about them.
we got so Hustlers though. What did you rate it? First.
I'm gonna give it a fancy schmancy 4 stars, 4 out of 5 snowflakes from
You
jail.
gave 4 out of star. I will give this, my good man, 3.5.
What?
It was close to 4. But I
Once
what
again, can never
you know what?
predict where you're
you
going.
know what? I could give it a 4 because I enjoyed Lizzo's playing of the flute in the thing to the lady's new breasts. That was funny, that scene where she's in the back and she's just doing
Okay.
that. So she's a good flautist.
Flutist.
Flutist, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, the next movie we're going to talk about is called Brittany Runs a Marathon. Brittany Runs a Marathon, a tale of how a woman known for being a life of the party finds real friends and a real life by taking control of herself one city block at a time. This has Jillian Bell, Michaela Watkins, Utkarsh Omkar. I hope I got that right. Mishak Stock? Mishak? Is it Mishak, you think? Mika Stock. Thank you. Alice Lee and our very favorite Little Rel Howery. He's our favorite because he's been in the last 4 movies or 3 movies we've seen.
Words in my mouth.
I don't know, but he's on a roll. Okay, I'm going to give him props. He's on the roll. He's on the roll. This movie to me, man, it was unbelievably
You
inspiring.
can afford to be in a lot of movies when you're in each movie for 5 minutes.
Well, he's taken a lot of things from Hannibal Buress when he's on tour, so he's taking over for Hannibal because those are the parts that he would have probably had too. But yeah, I got to tell you though, Brittany Runs a Marathon, very inspiring story. It's inspired off a true story. The writer, his friend, he decided to try this, and it to me, there's a lot of her, Jillian Bell's character, a lot of her, and I think all of us, where we don't know where we're at physically or mentally, and she finds that opening that gives her purpose, but still she can't really let everybody in, and so it's a character that develops slowly over this hour and 40 minutes, I believe,
Where did you watch it at?
in the theater. Yeah, we
How
watched.
busy was it?
It was pretty packed for our little tiny 34-seat theater. It was like probably half full, but it was a very good movie. Very inspirational. Everyone pulled their weight. The character, I thought the character development between Jillian Bell and I'm gonna mess it up. I believe is Utkarsh. Is that his name? Am I that bad or am I way off?
Sure.
But yeah, the character's development with that. The same with Lil Rel. I thought those scenes were pretty good as well. Well worth the watch. What did you think about that, man?
I loved Brittany Runs a Marathon here. Another, just surprised as far as how much I really enjoyed it here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I put this in line with Peter Butter Falcon, a smaller movie that luckily is getting some word of mouth, and I definitely want to add to that word of mouth because I think this is a film that should be seen, man. Check it out. Jillian Bell is fantastic here. She's always been kind of the kooky person or the coworker or the friend. You've seen her in Workaholics, 22 Jump Street, Office Christmas Party, so on and so forth. Leading lady here, and she does great. You get the feels. You really do get the feels. I mean, I think we both were mentioning how we were feeling the feels at the end of this movie here.
I teared up.
Yeah, I was trying not to say the word tear up, but yeah.
I'll be honest. I teared up in Peanut Butter Falcon, so it touched me, somehow, and emotionally.
It did, man. And you know what I mean? Maybe because it hit me on a personal level, and it's kind of cool, seeing someone try to better themselves, and getting over, the storyline with her roommate. You know what I mean? Going on in there, the slowly developing relationship with Utkarsh. The friends, kind of her being reluctant to even be friends with Michaela Watkins at first.
Yes.
Because, she's jealous of, her lifestyle. And I liked it, man. I liked it a hell of a lot.
Yeah, I'll tell you how much I liked it. I liked it 4 stars worth. 4 snowflakes worth. I enjoyed it 4 snowflakes worth.
Well, I'm going to add to your 4 and with another 4.
Woohoo! 8 snowflakes.
I don't know. That's how.
That's not how it works.
That's how that works.
Okay, 4
But
snowflakes.
no, we're both in agreement here. This is a pretty good film. Definitely worth checking out. whenever you can. Brittany runs a marathon. Made me want to run, not a marathon because that shit looks brutal.
Yeah.
But down the street.
We could go to 5K. You know, like the scene in the 5K when they're running the 5K and they look like they're going backwards because everyone's walking faster than they're running. That could be us.
I'll start.
Let's do
the
that.
mailbox.
Before you know it, you'll be running. The next film we're going to talk about.
Oh, I'm excited about this one, Jim.
I know you are.
Ladies and gentlemen, my favorite film, most anticipated of the year, Downton Abbey. As the beloved Crowleys and their intrepid staff prepare for the most important moment of their lives, a royal visit from the King and Queen of England will unleash scandal, romance, and intrigue that will leave the future of Downton hanging in the balance. You want me to read all these damn names?
Yes.
I just noticed this thing is a paragraph long.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Name them all, baby.
Who? Starring Hugh Bonneville, Laura Carmichael, Jim Carter, Brendan Coyle, Michelle Dockery, Kevin Doyle, Michael Fox, Joanne Froggatt, Matthew Good, Harry Haddon Payton, David Haig, Geraldine James, Robert James Collier, Simon Jones, Alan Leach, Phyllis Logan, Elizabeth McGovern, Sophie McShera, Tuppence Middleton, Stephen Campbell Moore, Leslie Nichol, Kate Phillips, Maggie Smith with Imelda Staunton, and Penelope Wilton.
Woo!
Ooh.
Congratulate! I did that because why not? Because everyone in this film, to me, when I watched it, it comes out this Friday, the 19th or the 20th.
You saw this already, huh? You lucky devil.
Yeah, I went and watched it a week early. I gotta tell you, this movie just made me happy. It was like a nice cup of tea. I read that somewhere. I love that. I like that the deal. It was easy and it was fun, and the audience, it was sold out for just for one night, and people were excited. People dressed up in cosplay. They dressed up as Maggie Smith's character, and a few others dressed up as a butler. I mean, it was just a fun night. Everyone decided to come out and enjoy the show for what it is. And does it deserve to be in the movies? I don't know. The grandeur of it, the better costumes, more money was of course paid to it, but the cast never missed a beat. Everyone was there. There was a few characters that didn't show up. I was kind of upset about because I'd like to see how they were progressing. But at the end of the day, the performance that we see from who was it?
Which of the 40 names was it, Jim?
Yeah, it's one of those. Well, the guy who plays Thomas, I believe that I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, Thomas's character, they develop him a lot more. And I got to tell you, Laura Carmichael does a great job in what she does. Of course, Hugh Bonneville, you can't beat it. The scenes with Maggie Smith and Penelope Wilton, are unbelievable. I just think the film is just a great movie to watch. If you're a big fan of the show, like I am, you need to watch this movie. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Go and watch
James
it.
Collier, who plays Thomas Barrow.
Yeah, Thomas Barrow, Robert, James Carter. He shows that he could be in more films. Why not? Everyone needs to be in these things. And I couldn't wait for everyone needs to be in movies, especially this cast, because this cast, they don't have any, I understand, but I just find it was enjoyable. And none of it was really that bad. I mean, it was never a time where I said, why am I watching this film? They didn't need to have this film. That type of thoughts. People gave it a standing ovation at the end of this film. And clapped. This is something that you love, Jordan. You love to clap. You love to make, these people, older people, of course, stood up.
I mostly
clapped.
love to annoy you, is what it is.
Julian Fellows knocked this one out of the park. Great performance by all.
Brian Fellows. Oh,
that's Julie. Yeah, that's Julie. Yeah, that's Brian. But yeah. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna give it. What do you think? What do you think I'm gonna give it?
4.5.
Well, I was gonna give it a 4. But it's because it was just missing a few characters that I really wanted to see, and I didn't get to see them.
Where's Dan Stevens?
Huh?
Dan Stevens.
Who's he? Is he in this?
He died in the earlier season.
Oh well, he's over at watching at Legend. Go watch Legend if you really want him. The Legion. I'm sorry, Legion.
Legend, whatever.
But I gave it a 4-star, 4 snowflakes.
You're excited about this film, aren't you?
My girlfriend is, so it makes me excited about
So if you guys go, I will go again.
it. Okay.
Is that cool?
And if
Yes.
you go, I will see another movie in another theater. So
Well, that's
You
what
have no interest in seeing this?
no, I've never seen the show. It's just not my cup of tea.
I go against my T reference. But yeah, I'll go with you guys if you guys go to a Regal. You gotta go to a Regal.
Okay. Downtown Jordan is not going to go see Downton Abbey.
No.
I'm good.
Okay.
But it's
That's
it's
all
well
right.
worth. It's well
You know
worth
what
it.
time it is now, though, don't you?
What time is it?
A hair past the freckle.
I don't get that reference, but all right. Talking about Michael Bay, aren't we?
Oh, Michael Bay directed films top 5.
As
my watch.
as Dutch just said, well, yeah. Oh, I get it now. You're fired. As Dutch said, this is not his producing movies. This is not anything like that. These are the top 5 films
If I get
directed by the one, the only Michael Bay.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I did this to us, but we just got it out of the way, plain and simple. And yes, I'm eating. I'm sorry. People hate it when you talk and eat, but let's start off with you. Give me your
All right.
honorable mentions if you have any.
I do. Well, here's the thing. I'll start off by saying this. So, looking it up, there's only 13 movies, right?
Yeah, 13 movies.
There are 13 movies to choose from in his directorial cabinet. So I'll even mention the 2 that didn't make the list. Things that didn't even make the top 10. Or I'm sorry, no. Here's the thing. I've only seen 11 of the 13. The 2 I have not seen. I never saw the 4th Transformers with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Never finished it. They killed T.J. Miller, and they had the weird card about how he could have sex with the daughter. And I was like, I've got
Spoiler alert! Spoiler
the first
alert!
30 minutes, whatever. And then I never saw Pearl Harbor. I'm sorry. I was always a little like, 2 VHSs. This movie's long. I never heard good things.
But
so.
you're Ben Affleck's boy.
Well, Ben Affleck needs to make a shorter, shittier film. Then I'll watch it like Surviving Christmas.
Yeah.
And my number 11 was the 5th Terminator.
Terminator.
Transformers.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, we're not doing Cameron.
The Last Night. My number 10 is the 2nd Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen. My number 9 is Pain and Gain. My number 8 is Transformers 3, Dark of the Moon. My number 7 is The Island. And my number 6 is Bad Boys 2.
Oh, okay. So I only, out of the 13, I could only stomach 8. So I'm giving you my top 8, but my honorable mentions are the bottom. Pearl Harbor, number 8. Bad Boys 2, number 7. And number 6, I threw in Armageddon. Yeah, why not? And that's your boy Ben as well in that one.
Well, if that's your number 6,
that's my
we're not
number
far off
6.
because that is my number 5 of the list.
What?
I'm kicking things off with Armageddon, and I'm getting mad that it's not higher on your list. I'm just playing. I just wanted to make that joke.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. These top 5 actually are all pretty watchable. I'll even say the top 6 are all pretty watchable. I don't mind Bad Boys 2. I think The Island is slightly underrated. It definitely has its faults, but I think it's at least worth a watch.
Yeah.
I know, whatever. I was young, whatever. I hadn't seen Logan's Run yet. But number 5 is Armageddon. This is a fun popcorn flick for the summer, man. A huge cast, especially if you haven't seen this thing in a while. Watch this thing because you're like, oh, Bruce Willis, Owen Wilson, Steve Buscemi. Is it Ving Rhames or Michael Clark Duncan? Is it wrong that I'm not quite sure? You're not even looking at me.
No, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Liv Tyler, it has you a little bit teary at the end with some of the actions that Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck have to make for Liv Tyler. It has a fun little scene at the beginning when they meet each other. Billy Bob Thornton's in the control booth. This thing's fun, man.
Because
It's
I
fun.
don't want to miss a thing. That
Beautiful
came out.
soundtrack, an iconic one too.
Yeah.
So yeah, this movie is actually pretty fun, and I haven't seen it in a while, and I wouldn't mind seeing it again. I think Eddie Griffin pops up in this thing as well too.
Oh well, I can't, I don't even remember most. I remember some of the cast. I remember Steve Buscemi asking, "Are we going to have to pay taxes on this?
Wrong click, Dizzle.
You know, are we gonna pay taxes? You know." So that I thought that was kind of funny. But my number 5. I think it was number 11 or something on your list. I don't know. Transformers: Dark of the Moon. I gotta tell you, that's the third one.
Number 8.
It was number. It was number. That was the third one, of course. But this is the last one we had with Shia LaBeouf. Also, that was whenever they fired what's her name, the other girl. What's her name? The
Oh yeah, Megan Fox. is
Megan
in this
Fox
one.
got
Yeah.
fired because she called Michael Bay a Nazi. But yeah, the cast, of course, Josh Duhamel is in it, and John Turturro. I believe Tyrese had a little bigger deal in this one. For instance, so they had a
It's
good
huge
cast.
They always.
It is
do.
actually a pretty
I mean,
decent
damn.
film out of all of them. So that you see one, you kind of see them all. But like I said, this was probably my more favorite version of the Transformers. So I think that's the only Transformers that made my list. So there you go. The third in the series, Dark of the Moon. That is what I got.
Do you have anything? Do you have a list ready, Dizzle?
My favorite?
No, number five.
Number five.
Number
first?
five. Do you have a number
I'm gonna go with
five?
Armageddon.
Okay.
Armageddon.
All right, Armageddon. All right, my number 4 here is a film from 2016, 13 Hours. John Krasinski, Pablo Schreiber, James Badgedale, David Denham, Mark Martini, and more here. This one again, not necessarily a film you could tell is from him. When you watch, Transformers, you can kind of tell it's from the same dude with the same kind of vision and humor. This one here is a little bit more nitty and gritty, and lives are lost, and it feels like there's some real stakes here.
Well, so based
And
on a true
again,
story.
it is,
so.
and it's based on a true story, and it's really well shot too. This is why, I look at this list and look at the bottom and I go, they're kind of mixed and they don't really know what the hell they're doing. And then you look at the top of the list and go, oh, he kind of does know what he's doing sometimes, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think if somebody reins him in, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, just the right group behind him, I guess. I thought, again, this is another really well film. It came out, I think, at the time, like in January or February.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were like, oh, I don't know. But no, I thought this was a pretty tight, watchable film. Maybe the first time, too, when you see Krasinski from The Office.
Do something actually. I was
Yeah.
impressed.
Yeah.
When I watched this, I was like, well, I don't know about this. And then he came out later on, not with the Quiet Place, but also now as as soon as they said he was
Yeah,
Jack Ryan, I was like,
You
I'm in.
believe it because of
I
this
believe it.
film, yeah.
Yeah.
And fun fact that on his team is Pam's fiance from the earlier.
Oh, he was. Yes, 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 he
David
was.
Denham.
Yes. My number 4. We're flashing back to 1995. This one has Will Smith and Martin Lawrence and Lisa Boyle and who played the chief? Do we remember the chief's name?
Joe Pantoliano.
Joe
Who's in all of them,
Joey
right?
Pants. Joey Pants was in this one. So this is the very first Bad Boys. And I got to tell you, this one was
Did you
actually.
mention Tay Leone?
No, I did not. I forgot she was in this one. But is she in this one?
She's like, yeah, the main chick they're protecting.
Oh, okay. I can't remember. I get some of them all screwed up somewhere. Or Mark Hellenberger is also in this film, and I'll only bring her up really quick because I'm the one who told her show with Joey Pants on CBS was canceled. We were in the middle of a nowhere. We were in a boat, and I said, "Hey, I'm sorry to hear about your show." And she goes, "What do you mean, my show? I'm on the set on Monday." And I said, "Yeah, they canceled that show." And she's like, "Oh, what?" Like that. Next thing you know, first thing she gets off of the phone, she gets on the phone with her agent, and he delivers the bad news to her. I am so sorry that happened, but yeah, I felt like I broke a news story to somebody for once. But yeah, the film alone, action packed, what you expect from a Michael Bay film. And it's just a fun ride between these two, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. Just have a great chemistry. So much they're bringing them back for a third romp. So I can't wait to see that. We got 4 for you, Mr. Dizzle. Or you got a
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor is number 4. Okay. So anything reason why you like Pearl Harbor?
I just like it.
Okay, so you just like it, and that's fine.
Because I like Ben Affleck, and he's great, and I would never,
Yeah,
ever,
true.
ever diss him. And knock
I'm
him
more
out
of a
the list.
unibrow Josh Hartnett fan.
No one's just arguing how great Ben Affleck is here.
I'm more of a Josh Hartnett fan in that one.
My number 3 is a movie that no
Kate
one has talked
Beckinsale.
about yet. It's called Bad Boys. Wait, he did just. I went into.
Well, yeah, we're gonna run a whole bunch into each other on this because my movie was already mentioned.
Yeah, so the first time we see the team up here of Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, we're gearing up for the third one here in a few months. It shows kind of the fact that people like seeing these two together. The fact that we get them every 10, 15 years. It seems like we get a sequel.
Yeah. Both these guys would really be retired by now.
Yeah, true, or dead.
Yeah.
And but no, I thought this first one's a little grittier than the second one, from what I remember. Some of the humor again. maybe it's just me because I know there is an argument for Bad Boys 2 over 1. To me, I think some of the humor doesn't totally work for me.
Yeah.
That I recall, so which seems to fit in with some of these other movies, like the other Transformers.
Yeah, Bad Boys 2 wasn't to me as crisp.
No, yeah, I just thought the first one was one of the first times too. You see Will Smith dropping some F bombs and using a gun and showing a little bit more of his versatility. And Tay Leone's really good in it as well. That's why I mentioned her before because she does stand out to me. And anytime Joey Pantsu, I'm glad it's in the third one, pops up. I'm always happy for. So that is my number 3, Bad Boys, because we're bad boys for life. What you gonna do?
Hey, as Will Smith says, do not do that. Do not do that.
I ain't not gonna know what he.
Because that was the third, the preview. Anyway, my third movie, though, is what we've already mentioned as well. I think we flip-flopped this one. 13 Hours. The Secret Stories of Benghazi. Again, a powerful film. And there's not much more we can talk about on this one, but it's just a very powerful film. I enjoyed it. Good action. It kept my attention, and that's very hard to do. If you watch a lot of those Transformer films, very hard to do. So what do you got for us there, Dizzle, at number 3?
The Rock, Sean Connery, Nick Cage.
The Rock.
Hold on for a second on this Benghazi.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a bunch of bullshit though? The whole movie, or was
No, it was. There was a lot of disputes. We don't really know what happened.
Yeah,
but
some people.
But the movie was based on who was there. You know, so some of the troops that were there on the ground. They all collaborated that it was, I guess, a true on spot film about what happened. But again, we don't all know the intricacies, which is, sometimes it's better for us not to know all the full intricacies of things. To me, anyway, I don't need to know classified information or what went into it because we don't really know the full story. Again, this is their story, so I'm gonna go with the idea that what happened was there at that moment. I feel bad for them that they had to wait as long as they did to get into the fray, but it happened, unfortunately. But
yeah, it's one of those situations where you would handle it one way and I would handle it another.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Hillary Clinton, I guess, was friends with those people.
Yeah.
So, and that's the guys like more people are gonna get killed if you send it in. And some people disagree. Some people say it doesn't matter how many more people are going to get killed. You send them in. So some people think one way and some people think another.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And we all have our that moment where we have to make that decision. And she made the life and death decision, unfortunately, for some people.
Based on what he said to her.
Correct.
Whatever
the facts, whatever the facts she was given, she had to make that decision.
Yeah,
so
which is brutal for her. That's her friend.
Yeah, and the Rock film, we're gonna probably talk about that a little bit more. But Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage,
A strange duo, but it worked.
Yes, it worked well for me, and I'm a big Nicolas Cage fan. Not like I'm saying know every movie that he's in, but we'll test that metal later on if we get him. I don't
You're
know.
a big Nicolas Cage fan.
I don't know. I like to watch him.
I do
Not the
too.
most recent stuff because they're really trippy or bad. Like Mandy was really trippy and awful, but it had some merit at the same time. It was weird. I was conflicted.
It's weird. Nick Cage I got a weird thing with him because he was like a strange guy that made him cool back then. But then he started going really strange, and I'm like, wow, this guy's actually whacked out. But then now I'm like, you know what? I guess I enjoy his whacked out.
I think we're all whacked out in our own little way. Number 2.
We are not.
Not the bees. Not the bees.
Number 2. What do we got for us?
My number 2 is, I think, easily the best of the all 47 of them it seems that we've seen. I'm actually going to argue for the first Transformers. I liked it. Shia LaBeouf at his most cuteness. Megan Fox.
At her most foxiness.
At her foxiness. The parents aren't as horrible as they do get in the sequels. I just thought that this film was a pretty decent amount of fun. Maybe it's rose-colored glasses because that was a movie I anticipated when it came out. Not as much as some, but I thought it was a cool, obviously, concept. And I was a big Shia LaBeouf fan, as I still am to this day, even though he may or may not be crazy.
There was a few jumping off points where they could have gone a little better in the first one. That second one, God knows what they were thinking with that one.
They started
The third one though started to get was more crisp though. It had a more concise storytelling.
The third one's higher on mine as well. Yeah. I do agree. I went in almost wanted to hate the third one coming out, going like, all right, well, it's a little bit
Like you and me, we went to watch.
track.
What was the last the one we
Last
watched?
night.
Yeah, I think you and your
Good
dad
one,
and myself
yeah.
went to that one, and we were all three like scratching our heads, saying, "God Almighty."
Just like sadly waiting for it to be over, man. Like
Yeah.
really feeling that length, and it was not like an It or a Wolf of Wall Street. Like you feel these lengths,
Yeah.
and you're like, all right, this kill Mark.
Is it
Wahlberg.
over now? Is it over?
Yeah,
no, it's not,
save
no.
the world.
Is it
and,
over yet? No.
You know, and yeah, but I like that first one still. I still think it's the most watchable. The humor isn't as cringy as sexual oriented or even as racist as some as the
Yeah.
other movies come to be. It's the first time you're seeing these robots on screen. There's some good humor in it as well with them trying to hide. I enjoyed the first one easily the most out of all of them.
You know, speaking of Mark Wahlberg, because Mark Wahlberg has worked with me before.
Jim,
Yeah.
tell your mother hi.
Okay, good vibrations, right? So let me just tell
Say
you.
hi to your mother for me.
Word to your mother.
That was the song "Good Vibrations" on my video that I got 50,000 views on.
Ooh.
Oh, that's right. Follow Warren
I get-
Baton
Yeah,
on Twitter
okay.
and
I
the
just-
Facebook.
Well-
I have to. That's my plug.
Yeah, you weren't here during that segment. I think we've
Naples,
moved on.
Florida.
I like how
Growing
you're like,
pains.
don't worry, I'll grab the hat and I'll be back within the intro. Like you were back by the time we're done with review 1.
Well, anyway, that's all right. But the movie that I have is my number 2, Pain and Gain. This one has Mark Wahlberg, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Anthony Mackie, Tony Shalhoub, Ed Harris, Rob Corddry. Even Rebel Wilson. By the way, I could actually handle Rebel Wilson in this one because I don't think she was in it that often. But yeah, this was about a trio of bodybuilders based on a true story, by the way. Get caught up in extortion ring and kidnapping scheme that goes terribly wrong. The chemistry, but just between the three characters,
Defend this, please.
I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was different. Totally different than what we're expecting from a Michael Bay film. The Rock and Marky Mark is what I want to call him. But, Mark Wahlberg, to me, had great chemistry. That's why it's up there on the second of the movies that I have. Again, there's 13. I had to choose. This one was better than the 15 other Transformers. So, that's how Pain and Gain get up there. I'm going with originality. This was more original
I
than
don't
he
know,
ever
man.
has.
On paper and getting into this movie after seeing the trailers back in the day, I wanted to love this freaking film.
Yeah.
I thought, oh my god, you got The Rock and Mark Wahlberg in this. It's a bit of a crime caper, and it's got
A little
some
comedy,
It,
a
it
little bit of-
visually looks pretty cool. Some comedy. This movie doesn't know what it wants to be. Is it dark? Is it super comical? Again, just the editing's all over the place. They throw in stuff just for one quick gag or one quick shock scene, and then
Again-
abandon it. And
Again,
this
this was
movie
a
is a hodgepodge,
Nah,
bro.
I enjoyed it, and I got to tell you, the only reason why I put it up as high as I did for a Michael Bay film, it was different than what he's usually doing.
I disagree
And I give him-
because
I
this
give him
felt
a-
like a bad mix of Bad Boys and Transformers, where he was just trying too much.
A little bit of Miami Vice.
That movie, I mean, maybe because that movie was a very dull and droll.
Well, no, I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about when he cut his teeth. I believe it was it was a television show.
I never saw that.
But yeah, it's but no, I thought number 2, Pain and Gain. That's just my opinion. Of course, it's always going to be subjective for what we have, and I just put it up there because it was different than what he's been doing at that time. What do you got there for
What's
number
your
2?
random
Mr.
number
Diz?
2?
Pain and Gain.
Oh, you son of a bitch. All right, number 1 for me, guys.
What do you got?
Dizzle had it sadly way too low on the list, and it is my favorite wrestler. It's The Rock. Another time where I just felt like things actually, for once, seemed cohesive here. There is some humor, but it's done at the right times, and it's not necessarily too over the top gimmicky. Some fun action stuff here. You got Connery in one of his last great performances. You got Nicolas Cage in one of his again very more subdued but still fun performances.
Ed Harris.
I enjoyed The Rock. Ed Harris. I haven't seen in a while. Very much look forward to seeing it sometime soon. After putting in my number 1, Michael Bay, never greater, and sadly one of his first few in
Can I-
The Rock.
I'm going to follow you, buddy. The Rock is my
is that your
favorite as
number
well.
one now?
I just love it. I've always said it on the on screen, or even off the camera. My favorite scene is, you could play Nicolas Cage for me, okay, and I'll play Sean Connery. Just say, I did my best, okay.
I did my best.
Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen. That is the greatest fucking line I have ever heard in a movie.
You know, I'm
Ever.
kind of a national treasure. Oh, we're done.
No, yeah, we're done with Nick. I'm sorry. Maybe next time we'll have more time for you. But the Rock to me was the ultimate. They had the great car scene chase with the Ferrari and the Hummer, and to me it reminded me of Bullet. If you ever saw that with Steve McQueen,
Nope.
that was one of the greatest car chase scenes ever on film. It just brought back that. And again, this is what it was like. It was a very slick, done well, underacted film. I like that. Underacted film from Michael Bay. Everyone put in a great performance. So that's what I have as my number one. What do you have for your number one, Dizzle, so we can put Michael Bay to rest?
Bad Boys.
Bad Boys, what you gonna do?
Put him to rest like this is a eulogy. And there was Michael Bay.
How's Michael Bay?
The man made some shit, but he also made some good shit.
Yeah. Very, 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 very little shit that was actually watchable. But our top five wasn't too different. All of us. Yours had one difference. I had one difference. So it's just that's how it works. Maybe one or two, which is nice. Goes to show you where we're at. The next segment we have, I think we just threw it in. The name game.
Oh, do that now.
Are we
It's
doing,
on, baby?
Are we doing the name
Pull
game?
up IMDb.
You can't look. Put it
What?
down. Put it down. That's the aviator's job to be the
I was
referee.
talking to Jay Washington of the Collider podcast.
Yeah, so we'll
Just
just
a friend of mine. I'm lying. I never met him.
maybe we can get him on the show. I don't know. I don't even know.
I'm trying to book him for RPW.
Oh well, if you there you
He
go.
does. He does what I do. He's in wrestling and podcasting
Well, isn't it?
and movie trivia.
The movie trivia. Okay, what do we got, boss?
I'm trying to steal
you want
your
me to
life,
pull a
Jay.
blind- Oh yeah, you pull a blind one. Let's see what happens here. Pull a blind one. Don't look at him. Just
We'll
pull a
play,
blind
but
one.
you cannot play because we don't
All
trust
right,
you.
who's
What? Pull one out, and then you're the referee. Okay. I'll pull one here. You're the referee. You're the referee. You're the referee. So, can we put this one back?
Nah, do it.
Jennifer Lawrence.
All right. You want to go first?
About Red Sparrow tonight.
Yeah. So
Bit of a spoiler, but all right.
okay, go ahead and pull up Jennifer Lawrence for you to make sure that we don't do anything wrong.
Let me document this.
So we got Jennifer Lawrence.
First or second, buddy.
Well, hold on for a second. Let me look at some images first.
That's weird.
Well,
You first or second, Dutch?
I'll go second. Why not?
All right. Red Sparrow.
Winter's Bone.
Hunger Games.
Silver Lining Playbook, I think it was called, right? Silver
Yeah.
Lining Playbook, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give that to you. Silver Linings, I think, maybe, but yeah. Hunger Games Catching Fire.
I know there's fucking how many of those, and I can't remember. I'm going to go with X-Men Apocalypse.
X-Men Days of Future Past.
X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Hunger Games Mockingjay.
X-Men Origins. She was in the first one. That was the first one, right?
That's not the name of it. I won't give you that.
Hold
That's
on.
too far off. I'll give you a bit to think of it.
Hold on.
If not, I'm stealing it.
I swear it was. The First Class.
All right, I'll give it to you.
X-Men's First Class. Origins First Class. Something along those lines. And those are origins.
Hunger
in that
Games
part.
Mockingjay Part 2.
I just gave you all the fucking Martin. I,
You got two easy ones there.
let me see here. Jennifer Lawrence.
I think that's it. Am I missing a third?
There's got to be one. I think
Is
they.
it 4 or 5?
What was the last one made?
No, I think it's 2 and the third one's split up. I think I got it.
Yeah, first one, second one.
Yeah.
How about just? Did you just say you said the Hunger Games by themselves?
Yeah. I started with that.
I thought you didn't. I thought you started with like
No.
the last one.
I did Hunger Games, then you did something. I went Hunger Games.
Oh,
Catching
okay,
Fire.
okay. I'm just trying to filibuster for
Hunger
just a
Games are left
moment.
that
here.
I think unless we're missing a middle one.
Yeah. Oh God, Jennifer Lawrence. Tell me what you've been in,
I
darling.
got at least one more.
Hold on. I'm going through my Bradley Cooper book here.
Oh wait, I think I got two more. Yeah, I got two more.
Can't remember that one. I can't
Yeah, I got a
remember.
big crush on Jennifer Lawrence.
I don't because she doesn't wash her hands.
Oh, is that a thing?
After she pees or something, she doesn't wash her hands.
Dirty and eat cookies in bed. I'm totally cool with that.
All right. Show about shows after dark.
I'm thinking here. Hold on.
You're good.
Jennifer. Yeah, that's the problem. Just let it happen. Jennifer Lawrence. What have you been in that I remember? Looking at me? Oh, she's so awful. You know what?
I got three.
You son of a bitch! Shut up.
I got three.
I don't watch a lot of Jennifer Lawrence films, so it's kind of rough.
Stuck on those. He's stuck on the images. It just makes it.
There is
You're
one.
not helping,
What was the one with the mop? The mop.
That's one of the ones I got.
Oh, if
It's
I
a
could come
specific
up with
name,
it,
too.
I
It's
know.
It's not like you know.
I know it's not an easy one, just like the flip out
It's
there.
easy if you think about it, but it's not like it's not an obvious name if you can't think of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I might just
If that
have
makes
to. I
sense.
might type out and let you just win this one again. Jennifer Lawrence.
Great shot.
You took Red Sparrow, so that's an awful thing. for
Red
me.
Sparrow, number one.
You know what? I'm just gonna.
There's some leg right there, Jimmy. So
You're not helping this.
that you can get it.
Stop.
Here, I'm trying to motivate him.
Did we see her anything recently? I can't remember. I don't think she's been in anything recently,
Kind of recently. I mean, recently, other than
Dark
fucking
Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix. That's in this year.
Oh God, I know it. It's on the
No.
tip of my tongue. Came out during Christmas.
The mop one. We said that already.
No.
Oh, we might have the other one that I'm thinking of
Oh, Chris Pratt.
too. Mm-hmm. That's my second one.
Fuck, why I can't remember the damn name. That's what sucks. Passengers.
Ah,
There we go. There
that
we
was one of my
go.
three. Well, going back to the mop one, Joy.
Joy, is that what it was called?
Just
Okay.
Joy.
Referee, are you doing? You don't even have a list
No,
in
he's
front of
doing
you.
nothing but looking at
Boss,
like,
boss,
half-naked
you're in
photos.
charge. You're in charge of the list of what movies we're supposed to know.
Oh, I've been
So-
stuck on images.
Yeah, I understand. You've been stuck on images. You got to
No
get.
pun intended.
Well, no, you just gotta
I
get.
know. I'm.
So
I know.
you're our referee.
Look
You're
what
our
I'm
referee.
dealing with over here. I'm getting.
I know, but you're our referee. So be.
You guys are doing good so far. You want me to give you a hint?
No hints. No hints. I just need you to have a list.
I got a list.
So if I have to say
Here,
fact check that,
you
son
guys.
of a
I
bitch,
got a good
I'll do it.
Jennifer Lawrence impersonation here.
Let me see here. So I'm gonna go with
This is
Really, it was Joy, huh?
Steve Buscemi.
That's such a simple
the
name,
Steve
isn't it?
Buscemi, Jennifer Lawrence impersonation here.
Let's
Doesn't
go.
seem to be working.
Let me think here. Jennifer Lawrence. Oh, I know she's in a bad
what is
movie
that,
here and
Saturday
there.
Night Live?
What was the name of that movie? It's probably the one you have in your head that I didn't like.
Maybe. Yeah, I think you're on the right track. Which you might get me if you think of it, because.
What was
Okay,
the
Dizzle,
name?
like seriously, can you pull up a list? Because I'm gonna have you fact check me if he gets this.
I got it. I got a list. I got the list.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Okay.
Right
Your weird
here.
photos.
There's
Don't
the
show
list.
us. Stop.
No, I'm not looking. I just want to make.
I know, I'm just saying, don't pull it up now in front of me.
I'm. Gosh.
Here, I'll take my glasses off. So
You know what? I don't. You know what? I'm gonna yield the floor to you, you young man.
this is it. You give up.
I give on this one.
All
Yes.
right, my last one that I remember is for sure is Mother.
Oh fuck me.
Mhm.
Yes, that was the atrocious one. I just couldn't remember because I blocked it out of my mind as if it was such trash that it was. That I
That was
just.
one, the last three I can remember were Passengers, Mother, Joy.
And that's some,
All
Joy
one-
was better.
One word title. Yeah.
Joy was better. Passengers was
Joy was
better.
all right. Yeah,
You
it's
know,
from the Silver Linings guy.
yeah.
Oh,
Another Bradley Cooper.
oh, American Hustle just came to mind.
Oh, yeah. Now that we're
Thinking
done.
of that director.
Yeah.
She was in something called Poker House.
Poker
Club.
House.
Poker House.
Poker House? No.
Poker
no.
House. Poker
The
something.
Poker House. Garden
Poker
Party.
House.
Poker House. The Burning Plain. Winter's Bone. Like Crazy. The Beaver, X-Men.
The
First
Beaver,
Class,
yeah.
The Hunger Games, Silver Linings Playbook, House at the End of the Street, The
That's
Devil
what-
You
couldn't remember
Know,
that one.
I couldn't
The
remember that.
Hunger Games,
So it was
Catching
the house
Fire,
one.
American Hustle,
So, like, one
X-Men,
shot.
Days of Future Past, Serena,
Sariana?
That's another Bradley
Yeah.
Cooper one. I forgot.
The
Or-
Hunger
yeah.
Games, Mockingjay Part 1, Part 2, Diori and I.
Oh, I have no idea.
Diori
what
and
that-
I. Joy, The Beautiful Planet, X-Men Apocalypse, Passengers, Mothers, Red Sparrow, and Dark Phoenix.
Oh, so we got the last.
So
few.
we got a lot of her films, which was
Leela Narlenberger.
that's kind of
project.
funny. We got a lot of those films,
We
which
got the last several, which we didn't forget anything blaring that was too.
yeah, we got everything most recent. That was always good. But you know,
Mess I Made
you know.
parachute video.
but yeah. So I think that's it, right? The name game's over. You win.
No, you want to do one more?
Well, we don't want to bust through all of them. We save these for whenever we have no third subject.
News and notables.
Yeah, let's do some news and oh, hold on. We're gonna do some news and notes.
Something. Just let Dutch get the control. Of that.
News and notes.
We got
I get more excited about news and notes than most people.
we got some trailers coming out from
the
Netflix.
spice?
If you have that Netflix account, don't cancel just yet. Big Mouth season 3 trailer just came out. In the Tall Grass, another Stephen King adaptation.
Yes.
Seinfeld. Before you leave,
By the way, that tall grass. Have you seen the trailer to that?
yeah.
Scared the bejesus out of me. I'm never going to
Why?
any tall grass again.
Oh.
I will never walk
Did
up
you get
Dunks a
lost?
Mile.
Yeah, I know.
Not just get lost, but did you see the crazy this is happening in that
Well,
film?
okay. Well, so you're gonna go with an alternate universe that does stuff like that?
Yes, it's great. You know what? You never know. Okay, that's why you shouldn't go in the tall grass by yourself. Okay, go ahead. Continue.
The trailer. Kid,
Are you out
good
there?
luck.
Yeah,
Run away.
that's how I would do it. Yeah. What? You're lost? Okay. Have a good one.
That sucks. I'm totally gonna call like real help and not just go in there. And I thought this trailer looked pretty interesting. I don't know if you saw this. Paul Rudd's Living with Yourself, an actual series coming to Netflix. It looks like a darker Multiplicity.
Oh, okay. Because he's multiple.
Yeah, there's 2 versions of him, and one obviously is a little bit better with the wife and family, and it looks like it might get a little bit violent though. Maybe we'll see. So, of darker Multiplicity. And like a really huge like number sale or money sale, HBO has acquired the rights to Bad Education, starring Hugh Jackman, Allison Janney, and Ray Romano from Corey Finley, who directed Thoroughbreds, which I think you enjoyed as well, right?
Yeah, I enjoyed. I thought Thoroughbreds was a good deal.
Yeah, they spent a lot of money for his new film, which is good and bad. It's good for us if you have HBO, but it's bad for any Oscar hope.
But isn't that going to like the HBO Max or no?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a totally different thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a totally different streaming service. I have no idea what's going on in this world.
Yeah, no, I'm so confused.
They also picked up what
Peacock.
Big Bang Theory for HBO Max. I'm like, really? Because it's time. I don't know. That's what I read.
They picked up Big Bang Theory?
Yeah, they picked
I
up-
figured that'd be on just CBS All Access.
No, not anymore. Not anymore. They're
Well,
taking it.
speaking of Paul Rudd, we got some more Ghostbusters news. What?
Are you on the camera? I can't see.
You are.
Oh, okay. See, I that's why I'm in charge of the Switch. So go ahead.
It was most recently announced that Dan Aykroyd has definitely been confirmed, and now Ernie Hudson has been confirmed
Woohoo!
for the new Ghostbusters film. Already announced, like I said, Aykroyd previously, and then Sigourney Weaver and Annie Potts have been announced, as well as newcomers Paul Rudd, Carrie Coon, and Finn Wolfhard.
Are we still looking for Bill Murray on this?
You gotta be. One, why would you have Weaver unless Weaver's just gonna be like, he died? Like, it's gonna be weird to have her and not him.
That's what I'm saying. I want Bill Murray because to me he helped make the Ghostbusters. He was always that
I
wry
think,
straight guy.
That could be. I could see that being the end of the first trailer, or that's gonna be like big news because that's gonna be more getting butts in seats than, no offense, Ernie Hudson.
Hey, Ernie Hudson.
That wasn't my intention.
I love Ernie Hudson. I love.
We're
Ernie
getting it not too long from now, July 10th, 2020. Director Lee Winnell of Saw and Upgrade announced the wrapping of The Invisible Man.
Who's in that?
I was about to tell you.
I'm sorry.
Elizabeth Moss, Oliver Cohen, Storm Reed, and Aldous Hodge. This is told more from the point of view of Elizabeth Moss.
Oh,
who,
okay.
Feels like maybe her ex-husband is haunting her. Get it? He's invisible.
Invisible.
So, different take, horror take. I enjoyed it.
Did that scotch drink itself? We don't know.
Speaking of big gets from streaming services, Hulu has acquired the rights to Little Monsters.
Yes.
With Lupita Nyong'o and Josh Gad. And you don't got to wait long. October the 11th. I think it's going to have a very small theatrical release. But then October the 11th, if you got Hulu, which I'm going to have to restart this.
I got him.
So that will come over to your house. Because I do want to see Little Monsters, so that looks cool.
You know, I have something. I don't know if you have it or not, but
What's up?
as you know, El Camino is a Breaking
sir.
Bad movie coming out on Netflix. They're going to get a limited theatrical release for this too. So if you want to watch Breaking Bad's El Camino in the big screen, look in your local areas. But it's going to be very limited for like 30 days or something like that. Then they're going to bring it back to the network. I don't know why they're doing that, but I guess why not? But
Award consideration, Bose.
yeah, but I don't.
Can.
Yeah, just get a lot of people wing-dinged up for it.
This isn't as bad as you making me read all the Downton Abbey stars, but the Suicide Squad 2 cast has been released. I'm leaving out a couple of names. It's a long list. But the names that jumped out to me, this was announced James Gunn on Twitter. John Cena, David Desmocklin, Nathan Fillion, Flula Borg, Sean Gunn, Storm Reed, Pete Davidson, Taika Waititi, Steve Agee, Peter Capaldi, Idris Elba, Alice Baraha, Michael Rooker, plus the returning cast members. We're getting back Jai Courtney, Viola Davis, Joel Kinnaman, right?
Yep.
And Margot Robbie have been announced as well. So huge cast. I don't know if they're all going to have a lot of screen time. Maybe some of them might only be in it for a little bit because that always is the kind of fun with Suicide Squad. If you remember, what's his name? Adam Beach's part from the first Suicide Squad where he tried to get away. So,
oh yeah, he was only there for like a minute. You know what?
Which is good because I hate the band Slipknot. So that's something I died.
But you know what though? Here's the deal. I like what I love about James Gunn is that he always puts Sean Gunn in all the films. It kind of reminds me of Ron Howard putting Clint Howard in all his films.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
Sean Gunn, we had a really nice, small but impactful part in Guardians 2.
Yeah, and and of course he plays Rocket Raccoon whenever because Bradley Cooper is not on the set for that. He dresses up in his little green suit.
I don't know if I knew that or I forgot that.
Yeah, he does.
And in fact, if you're really big into the Steve Agee, he's also one of the guys, a part of that group too from the Guardians films. One of those Reavers. What are they
yes, he was.
Yeah. So I don't remember if he died in the second one or not. Spoiler, I don't know.
No, I don't think he does.
We got movies coming out this weekend. As you said already, Downton Abbey, continuing story of the Crawley family, wealthy owners of a large estate in the English. That's coming out full on. You got Michelle Dockery, Matthew Good, Maggie Smith are in it. I only named 3. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. We already named him earlier in the show.
Rambo Last Blood with Sylvester Stallone, Paz Vega, and Louis Mandylor. Rambo must confront his past and unearth his ruthless combat skills to exact revenge in one final mission.
Absolutely. He I guess his daughter, niece gets kidnapped or something, and he has to go off and do his Rambo stuff, man.
Here's a PSA to people that kidnap, right? Taken Rambo.
Yeah.
Do some research as to who they're related to.
It's not that hard to figure it out. Google some bitches.
Make sure like her uncle's not I don't know, John fucking Rambo.
Yeah, well, if you look at there was 4 movies, and each time the government's been going after him. Every time, because he's John Rambo. Even in that last one, Rambo, the one that it came out just prior to this one, if somebody looked him up because they needed a mercenary and he was in Vietnam still. And they found him. They found him on a little boat. And then, and then of course, what the local drug dealer guy didn't even know he existed. Please, come on. Just look in your backyard sometimes, people. You'll find some bad stuff. Hey, I got some news. I didn't know if you're going to cover this or not, so I'm jumping in on it.
Jump on in.
Did you know they're rebooting Saved by the Bell?
Yes,
for NBC Universal pay deal. Guess who's not going to be there? The Bayside is not going to bring back Zach Morris. Mark Paul Gosselaar said he was never approached nor invited to be a part of this show. So I guess they're just not going to bring any of the old folks back.
But yet the premise I heard, it's literally all about Zach Morris.
Yes, as I'm saying, they have no idea what they're doing right now, as far as I can gather. But he's saying
Berkeley signed on, right?
And
Lopez,
Mario Lopez, and but he's saying he's never done it. Never been. No one's come up to him and asked him to go on. So he's like, okay, then he's doing his thing.
Did you hear the other interesting Gosler news?
No, I don't have any more Gosling news, but I do have Amazon Prime
Oh, let me
news.
finish Gosling news.
Oh, well, you want to do that? I have some Amazon Prime news.
I just figured it flows
Yeah,
into
yeah.
what you just said.
Go ahead.
Reading about that too, another reason why a lot of people figure he might not be there is because he's currently shooting Mixed-ish,
Yeah.
the spinoff to Blackish and Grownish, which is interesting because if you had saw the trailer a couple months ago, it was Anders Holm from Workaholics in that role. And then one of those pilot things, even though they released the trailer, they decided to recast it and refilm all those scenes, now featuring Mark Paul Gosselaar. So another one of those interesting things. I just read, who was it? Scott Wolf just replaced somebody. Oh, Freddie Prinze Jr. on a potential
What?
like Nancy Drew TV show or something.
Oh yeah, that's
like
coming. I think
so.
that to CW or something like that. I believe.
Oh, it's obviously
Yeah.
CW loves that shit. So I'm saying it's just kind of interesting how like a well-known actor, Anders Holm has been in plenty of things, movies as well, and just
Maybe a
gets
schedule just
replaced.
couldn't. Maybe a schedule.
Maybe
couldn't-
it was undisclosed, which makes me feel like maybe it was the studio, but yeah, for whatever reason, it just didn't work out.
My little tidbit here. As we know, they spent $5 billion. I think Netflix did on this Lord of the Rings series, and you know what they said they're going to do? Finally, everyone didn't know where they were going to film this, so they said, you know where we're going to film it only where Middle Earth is, and that is in New Zealand. You know, why wouldn't you? It's already got
I was
sets.
about to say that as a joke, like, okay, New Zealand, right?
Yeah, but no, they weren't even going to think about that at first. But then they thought, well, okay, I guess we spent enough money, and the sets are pretty much made. So, so I guess they're going to go there to watch it. That to me, I'm afraid how that's going to go. It's either going to go real good for them or real bad for them. So I'm hoping for the best. The little nerd in me is like, let's do some good. Let's do some good. So, any other news that you want to throw at me, buddy?
Yeah, because you interrupted me.
Yeah,
Ad
I always do.
Asher's coming out this weekend. Brad Pitt, Tommy Lee Jones, and Liv Tyler, astronaut Roy McBride undertakes a mission across an unforgiving solar system to uncover the truth about his missing father and his doomed expedition that now, 30 years later, threatens the universe. That, and of course, in limited release is 3 from Hell, the follow-up to Devil's Rejects, featuring Sherry Moon Zombie, Bill Moseley, and Sid Haig. That's what you got coming out this weekend at a Cineplex near you.
Well, I believe that's all we got, man. Right? That's all we're gonna go with.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're always so glad you join us here on a show about shows.
Absolutely. And
JPO, my main man.
I'm Dutch McAllister, and I got to tell you, I'm excited that we're back right here in the studios. We got some new stuff that we're working on. So if you're just listening to it, you might want to just watch it in a few moments. We're working on a possible front skit with what movie am I in? That's what we're trying to figure out how to go about that.
Look forward to that next week on the show.
I'm hoping next week.
Well, I was just saying that. I was
Yeah.
saying next week, definitely on the show, though. We will be talking about the rest of the year, looking at the rest of the fall and winter of this year, talking about top 10s
Absolutely,
of the rest of the year, what we're looking
fall,
forward to. And it's interesting. I had about 18 that I was like, oh, I'm definitely in for, and I had to narrow that down.
And I'm still looking at them, and I'm saying, well, what do I feel like I want to watch? And again, you and I know I'm not on camera, but I don't really care. But you and I, we go watch any movie together. So if it's on my
see
list,
a lot of movies.
If it's on my list, you'll wind up going to watch it possibly. And if it's on your list, I know you'll drag my ass to it.
We'll probably see most of them. Yes, sir. Yes.
and a few of them that we didn't think we were going to go watch, like Countdown, that app movie. We're going to watch.
Riggle, you said I'll get that for free.
Yeah,
on
STX
digital.
does me some well. STX Films, of course, 21 Bridges. So those are the ones that'll make me. And then of course, Lionsgate's going to be making me watch 5 of theirs. So
Gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
absolutely. So anyway, the aviators are here to say goodbye, but we are here to say goodbye. And again, any other news or any other promotions you want to throw out there one more time? Any reminders, anybody?
Just hey, if you're in the Fort Myers area, me, Dizzle, maybe Dutch, Real Pro, Fort Myers, September the 28th, and then October the 19th. If you have a Roku, if you have an Xbox, maybe even sometime soon the WWE Network, we don't know, could happen. I'll tell you off the air, Dutch, a little scoop I got.
Ooh, an
Club
insider scoop.
WWN for ACW live from Port Richey. So if you're in Port Richey or you want to get a fantastic wrestling app that gives you that, Evolve, FIP, Shine for $9.99.
How much did they pay you to say this? Because I didn't see any of
But
this
they put me
money.
on the show, and I'll be a good supporter. And hey, I am a supporter.
Yeah.
I
You
have
are a
subscription.
supporter.
I need
You
to
have
find
a
out
you do
if I need to
subscribe.
if I can get a free one now.
You subscribe to everything under the sun when it regards to wrestling, and you know
That's not true.
well, most of them. But I
Not true.
you know, I thank you, sir, for
There's
that.
an Impact app I don't have.
Well, no one wants that Impact app. But anyway, thank you again. Go watch him live at those two venues in Fort Myers and up in Port St. Lucie. Again,
There's one venue in Fort Myers, nothing in Port St. Lucie, but thanks.
I thought you said Port St. Lucie
Port St. Lucie.
Okay, Newport Richie or something.
Newport
yeah,
Richie.
yeah. My bad. I believe. But yeah, go watch it. Have fun. ACW and RPW. Thank you guys. Have a great night.
Here's to the nights we felt alive. Here's to the tears you knew you'd cry. Here's to goodbye. Tomorrow's gonna come too soon.
Well, I'm
Too soon.
just speechless right now.
I thought you were gonna join me.
No, I don't know any of this.
No?
No.
Eve 6, here's tonight. No.
My milkshake brings all the boys in the yard because they're like, it's better than yours, damn right. It's better than yours. I can teach you, but I'd have to charge. Okay, everybody.
Why are you guys
Good night.
podcasting? You guys clearly should have been, stars of the music generation.
Yeah, we should have. We're gonna make a big boy band pretty soon.
You should.
Call it
The podcast.
Boys Town. Oh, they already have one of those, don't they?
As we go on, we'll remember
A band of
all
boys.
the
There we go.
times
That sounds like.
we
Yeah, well, I don't know about a band.
And as
A band
our
about
lives
boys.
change
Yeah, that sounds like we're all going to be in jail soon, doesn't it?
We will still be friends forever.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.